So Amazon faces lawsuit over alleged secret tracking of consumers. A new lawsuit accuses Amazon of secretly tracking consumers through their cell phones by embedding tracking codes in third-party apps. The lawsuit claims Amazon collected sensitive geolocation data without consent, revealing personal details like religious affiliations, health concerns, and shopping habits. If true, this raises serious concerns for Amazon sellers about how the company handles consumer data and potential regulatory scrutiny that could impact advertising and sales strategies. The outcome of this case could lead to new data privacy rules that affect how sellers engage with customers on the platform. So, first off, I'll just point out that this is just the beginning of a lawsuit. So, innocent until proven guilty and all that. But
wish they did the same for us, but please continue.
Yeah, for sure. But I would not be surprised at this at all, because it sounds like what Amazon has been doing is they're using their Amazon Ads SDK, which other companies use in their applications to show Amazon ads and make money. And they're using those to kind of secretly steal the data from those apps and learn all about the users and customers. So what do you think on that one, Leslie? You're the account health person and deal with these kind of things all the time.
So first, I just want to say this is all just crazy talk, because it never, ever happens that I'm in my house saying to my husband, I really need to buy a new pair of shoes. And then later, a bunch of ads for shoes pop up on my phone. So, this never happens. And anyone who would think that is just insane.
Yeah, it doesn't happen on Facebook either. So
no, or the follow me ads, the remarketing ads, that never happens on that either. In fact, I know that if we talk about any name brands on this podcast right now, that later when Nike. I open my browser, nothing weird's gonna happen. Yeah.
Nike.
Fishing equipment.
Lamborghini.
So if Amazon is actually doing this, which wouldn't surprise me at all, because hey, it's another stream of revenue that isn't dependent on .com sales, and really they like making all their money off of data, because making your money off of data is awesome and lower risk. But that being said, I would see this as being a huge unforced error, and one of those things where they think no one will ever catch them, if it is in fact true. Because when you are one of the biggest companies in the world and people have a love-hate relationship with you, you just don't add fuel to the fire. I get really frustrated with Amazon with stuff like this, because they are already in the crosshairs of the federal government. We still don't know how that is going to change or not change under the Trump administration. They've got several big lawsuits pending, one of which is going to end up before the Supreme Court on product liability, most likely. It hasn't yet, but I bet you it will. And they're just asking for more trouble. I just don't get it. As someone who's also a shareholder, not a fan.
Yeah, the way I imagine this probably went, giving the benefit of the doubt to Amazon, which may not be a good thing. I'm going to guess that the Amazon advertising SDK, which is the programming component that other apps use to show Amazon ads, somewhere in their terms of service, it probably said, hey, we're going to collect this data, just so you know. But what they failed to do is then they also have to inform the users of those apps. The people who make those apps need to inform their users. So I got a feeling that's maybe the defense that Amazon is going to take here. Like, we told these apps that we were doing this. It's not our fault that they didn't tell their customers. They were supposed to. So they may cover themselves with something like that, but we'll see.
Well, and don't you always wonder, I always click the ask app not to track. You'll know what I'm talking about when you install a new app and it says, we want to collect information when you're on other sites and things. And I always do the, no, thank you. Don't you always wonder if that actually means anything, or if it just goes into the ether?
So I think that it probably means something, but not as much as we think, because we still have to accept, if we want to use their website, we still have to accept their terms and conditions, right?
Mhm.
And in their terms of conditions, which are 87,000 pages long, using specialized legal Latin and stuff and verbiage, we sign our life away every single time we agree to these terms and conditions. And I don't know if I've ever met anyone that actually reads them all. I know I don't.
No. You'd
That's
never
what
be
you
able to
would
use an
do.
app. That'd be your life.
Yes, that's all you would do, and you would still never finish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And not only that, but the way these contracts are written are such that it's very nebulous as to what you're giving them access to. Like to Facebook, you say, hey, they go, hey, would you like us to be able to access all of your photos real quickly? And nobody realizes, or not many, I would imagine, realize that when they say yes, absolutely, they're saying, go ahead and have access to put all of my photos onto your service, all the metadata, the location data, the voices, the faces, everything, and the locations, which is part of the metadata, so that you know where I've been, you know what what products I'm taking photos of, and by the way, go ahead and run it through your AI and see what I'm interested in,
Mm-hmm.
and then advertise to me.
Okay, y'all, I have to tell you this. One of my fantastic team members at Riverbend is watching our stream right now, and he just messaged me on Slack and said, I read them, nerds read them.
All right. Okay. Who is this again?
This is one of our consultants, James. He is a
right.
brilliant, wonderful consultant. And you know what? This is why he's really good at his job. He's one of these people who will dive into the details.
Yeah, James, why don't you come onto the live stream and break it down for us, Barney style, and like tell us what we're agreeing to. Like the world needs people like you, buddy. People that are not a lawyer that can read this stuff, understand it, and then translate it into layman's terms. Because I can read contracts okay, but most of them are written in such a way. It's like, well, I understood it this way. And it's the reason you get into legal battles with each other or even against laws and stuff like that is because, well, this is how I interpreted it. Oh, well, we interpreted it differently. So you sue me, I'll sue you. Let's see who has the better argument and which one can pay off the judge first or last, maybe.
Yeah. Who has the deeper pockets?
Exactly.
Pretty much is what it comes down to. It's I mean, our data is everywhere. Europe is definitely a little better on data privacy, but we don't do a whole lot here in the United States. I wish we did more in banning this data collection and stuff, or making it a lot more stringent, and this is one area where I think our government really messes up. We spend how many trillions of dollars every year on a lot of stupid stuff. I feel like this is one thing where the federal government could come in and, if you have a grievance and you're suing a big company, the government could be in your corner, essentially providing counsel and stuff like that, and to sue these big companies, because it's impossible for an individual to do it. I mean, you'll just get destroyed. Their lawyers will wrap you up for a decade in lawsuits, and meanwhile, you lose your job, you lose your house and everything else because you're focused on a lawsuit.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. If you had the government on your side, it'd probably be the same scenario, but because that cogwheel turns pretty slowly as well.
Well, and honestly, the real problem with this to me is not necessarily companies getting your data and using it to market to you. It's annoying. It's not cool for anyone to have your data, but they are not the problem. The problem is that then it gets hacked. I mean, how many notifications do you get every year in your email or a thing that you get in snail mail that says, we're giving you a free year of whatever because all of your data has been hacked? I mean, our health insurance company was hacked, for heaven's sake, or like one of their providers was hacked, I think, and they're huge. And so every single time that there's someone else collecting your data, it's another opportunity for bad guys to get a hold of it and use it against you. And that upsets me a lot more about this than anything that Amazon or another retailer would ever do with the data. It's that it's just out there more stuff about Leslie that no one needs to know, like what I want to buy. I mean, who cares? But okay.
Many years ago, I went to open up a bank account, and they declined me because I had terrible credit. And they said, yeah, Justin Dwan Colbin. I was like, who? Like, this isn't you? I'm like, no. This person used my social security number and was able to get money and all kinds of stuff. And so, like, social security number is like, okay, that's probably fairly easy to get. Maybe I don't know. I'm not into fraud, so I'm no pro at it, but it's so easy these days, and there's so many places that are so insecure with their data. And I don't know for sure, but I have to estimate, because a lot of businesses do business with tons of other businesses. So there's got to be cascading levels of insecurities that hackers could kind of worm the way up the waterfall, so to speak, and then get whatever they need from you. And so I have heard that hackers get these credit card numbers and your personal data, then they sell it to other people who then go, well, yeah, I'll give you $50 for this credit card number. And then they try and buy whatever they buy. And then they go, like, I've had my fraudulent charges on my credit cards, gosh, must be at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, we've had those too. And like you, Danon, I have had social security number fun. Someone stole my social security number, who also stole a bunch of others, apparently, and was prosecuted in federal court in Louisiana. I had no idea any of this was going on until I got a victim letter from the feds. And now I get a pin in the mail every year that I have to use to file my tax return, so that they know for sure it's me filing the tax return, which is just crazy. But what's nuts about it is I had no idea. I saw no impact to anything, but I was one of the hundreds of victims that this person, now in a federal penitentiary, had. And so if it's the hacking, it's really the hacking that worries me. So thanks, Amazon, for helping the hackers. You're awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's one of those things, hacking is going to happen no matter how up you are on security practices at your business. It's always possible that, software you use has a bug or something that they take advantage of. But I really think we need to hold, like, CEOs of these companies criminally liable if it's obviously happened because of neglect of security. I know there's nothing that can ever be foolproof, but if you start attaching, criminal laws or whatever to these kind of things, they're going to take it a lot more seriously.
Yeah. So there's a guy that I saw on the Joe Rogan show called Ryan Montgomery, and I had to look his name up, but he is an ethical hacker. His job is to go into your system and show you how insecure you are. And he has the most fascinating technology to just, you walked by me, and in his satchel is something that swipes your data right there, because you've got NFC on your cards, right? This stuff is so real. And like, it's, when we were children, what was Mission Impossible is now Mission Entirely Probable. With not even a large degree of sophistication compared to the technology that is available to us today. It's something that if we wanted to, we could go and join Anonymous and start learning this stuff, So, I think that there is especially today, a very strong place in the world for ethical hackers and hackers for hire that you bring on board specifically to breach your systems.